We'll start with the mat rolled up all the way. If you happen to have a thick mat or a mat that is on the thicker side, you might find once we get into this, you might find you want to unroll your mat a little bit. I have a really thin mat, and if you have a really thin mat, you're probably fine. But what we're going to do is we're going to sit with the rolled up mat behind you, and we're going to lie back on the mat so that the mat is right under the shoulder blades, okay? So when you lie back, if you just look at me for a second before you get settled, you wanna be able to bring your elbows over the mat, right? So your arms are gonna be comfortably over this mat. Your shoulders, the backs of your shoulders should be touching down here. Now, if you get here and you think, whoa, 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 this is a huge sensation, this is way too much, then all you're gonna do is come back up and unroll your mat maybe about halfway. You might find you wanna unroll it a little bit more. The thicker your mat, the more you're probably gonna wanna unroll it. If you're okay with the mat all the way rolled up, then you can get settled. So again, the mat's right under the tips of the shoulder blades. The backs of your shoulders are gonna touch down to the mat, and your arms are gonna come out wide, but you can soften the elbows or you can straighten the arms. It's whatever is most comfortable, but you just want to make sure that your arms all the way up to your shoulders are on the mat, right? So you're not lifting up here. Your head should be really comfortably down. As for your low body, you can do what you like. So if you want to bend your knees and bring your feet to the mat, you can do that. You could even take your feet a little bit wider and let your knees knock in together. You could also come to Supta Baddha Konasana if that's comfortable for you, bringing the soles of the feet together, letting the knees knock out wide. Or you can always extend the legs out straight as well. So this is designed to be a very gentle practice, very gentle, more restorative than anything else. So please don't find yourself anywhere that's really, really sensational physically and think that you need to stay there, okay? So definitely take a moment or two to adjust so that you are comfortable and you can stay here, because we are gonna hang here for a little bit, okay? And then once you are settled, close your eyes. And once you close your eyes and you settle your body into a comfortable space, observe for a moment how you feel. Observe how you feel right here, right now, in this moment. Try not to take into consideration the baggage that you may have brought with you into this moment. And by baggage, I mean anything that happened before this moment that you're still holding on to. Let's see if we can leave that behind and observe how we feel in this moment as this moment stands. Observe how you feel physically, because sometimes we think we're good, we think we're comfortable, and then things start to niggle, start to become aware of things that maybe don't feel as comfortable as we thought they were. So feel free to adjust. The more comfortably that you are physically, the more comfortable you will become in your headspace, the more settled you will become emotionally without the distractions of physical discomfort. And in this practice, we'll be finding ourselves in stillness quite a lot in this practice. And stillness, not just as in physical stillness or the absence of movement, but as in the absolute participation in the moment that you're in. So let's use the breath to find the moment. So if you're still breathing through your mouth, let your lips come together and breathe through your nose. Notice the parts in the front of your body that rise as you breathe in. And the parts of the front of your body that fall as you breathe out. Tap into your power here to slow down your breath. Now notice the parts on the sides of your body that expand as you breathe in and draw back in as you breathe out. And again, harnessing this power to slow down your breath. Now notice the parts of the back of the body, whether they're touching down or not. But notice how as you breathe in, the parts of the back of the body that move back in towards the earth. And as you breathe out, as they release back towards your spine. As you're breathing in, there's this expansion happening. Your front body, your side bodies, your back body moving out and away from your spine, from your midline. And as you exhale, we draw back towards the midline. Tap into your power to slow down your breath even more. Notice any part of you, physically or emotionally here, that's still gripping, that's still tensing and holding on. And harness your power to let go, to release, just for the moment. You're not releasing forever, don't worry, it's not that much pressure. All you're doing is focusing on the moment. if your legs are bent, extend your legs out straight onto your mat. If they're already straight, leave them out straight. And take your arms up overhead now. And let's take a stretch, but nothing dramatic or aggressive, just a stretch, reaching the fingers away from the toes, pointing the toes away from the fingers. Breathing slowly, breathing deeply, breathing through the nose. And then let's relax the arms and bring them back down towards you by the sides of your body and bend your knees one at a time, walking your feet back towards your bum. And then we're going to lift the bum up here and move the mat out from under you. And we'll come back to that in a moment, but just slide the mat out from under you for a moment there and rest your back body onto the mat. Arms down by your sides there. Letting the back of your body settle into the mat here. And notice the parts of the back of your body, all the parts of the back of your body that are touching down here. Feel yourself connecting, growing roots into the earth. And tap into that expansive breath. The front body rising, the side body's moving outward, and the back body moving back into the earth. Exhaling, releasing, drawing back in towards your midline. Breathing into this expansion and breathing out, back in towards the midline. Okay, so let's come over, roll over onto your side here for a moment. We're gonna slowly and gently press your way up to a seat so that you can roll your mat back out. And then once you've rolled your mat back out, we're gonna come back down onto the mat and lie down. And then once you come onto your mat there, bend your knees once again. And let's bring the feet wider than the hips here. So bringing the feet as wide as your mat there. And take your arms by your sides, but bring them out a little bit wider. So they're not going to be in the way of the legs here, because we're going to drop the legs side to side here a few times. So just bring the arms, maybe not as wide as a T shape, but wide. And then let your knees start to fall side to side a few times, keeping the movement really fluid for the moment. So rather than stopping anywhere or pausing, just let the legs move side to side, but really slowly. So really taking your time. And if you can close your eyes, or gaze softly at the ceiling. And observe the breath once again. But now we're going to start to visualize the breath moving through the back of the throat. So visualize the back of your throat here. Think of it as the place where you would cough from. So if you're not sure, take a little cough so that you can feel where that sensation originates from when you cough. And then close your mouth and imagine that you can breathe through that space at the base of your throat. See how that feels. Sometimes it's described as a constricted feeling, so it almost feels like you're closing off your airways. So the breath feels harder, feels a little bit like you're breathing through a smaller passageway. Just play. If it doesn't make sense right now, don't worry about it, just play. Play with this gentle constriction in the back of the throat as you're breathing in and out. And the knees are still gently moving side to side, but maybe we've forgotten about that a little bit because we've brought our awareness deeply into the breath. Now, the next time that your knees fall over to the left, let's leave them there. So your feet are as wide as your mat. Your knees are going to drop to the left. So you roll all the way to the inner edge of your right foot and the pinky edge of your left foot. And the inside of the right thigh is dropping down towards the earth. And keep playing with that breath. That breath originating from the base of the throat. Notice if the breath feels different, if it sounds different. This practice of observing the breath, bringing all of our awareness into the breath. That's how we find presence. Now bring your knees back to center. Your feet are staying nice and wide on your mat. And then let the knees drop all the way over to the right. So rolling to the pinky edge of the right foot, inner edge of the left foot, inside of that left thigh dropping down towards your mat. And focusing on the breath, moving through the back of the throat on the inhale, on the exhale. You can let the body be really heavy here. Let yourself settle. And then come back up. Bring your knees slowly back to center. And then let's walk the feet a little bit closer together here. So maybe about hips distance apart. They don't have to come super far. And then take your hips, lift them up a little bit, and then move your hips over to the right edge of your mat and then put the hips back down. And then let the knees fall over to the left. So now the knees are stacking. So your right thigh is over your left. Now we're gonna roll all the way onto the left side of the body here. So take your right arm with you, rolling all the way over onto the right side of the body. So your right thigh is over your left. And then take your right arm and reach it up to the sky and reach up like you're gonna try and touch the ceiling. And then keep reaching away from you as you reach that arm out to the right, and settle the back of your right shoulder down to the mat there. And play there with the legs. So if your feet move a little bit further from the bum there, that might feel pleasant. Maybe the feet coming a little bit closer to the bum. Just make sure that you're bringing some weight back into the back of the right shoulder. Spend a moment or two here noticing how the breath feels different, if the breath feels different. And then once again, focus on the breath traveling through that passageway at the back of the throat. We can put a lot of pressure on ourselves when we're practicing a more restorative practice, a quieter practice, a relaxation practice, or when we practice meditation. We can put a lot of expectation on ourselves. But there is none of that here, because we're staying present by participating in the moment. You don't need to worry about the next moment. You're just focusing on this moment. Let's just take a few more breaths here. Staying present with each breath. And then let's bring the knees back to center. Coming all the way back up to center, so the feet are hips distance apart. And we'll bring the hips back to center here. So rather than taking them all the way over to the other side, we'll just come back to center here for a moment, letting the back of the body rest down and towards the mat. Spending a few breaths here, connecting the back of the body into the earth as you breathe in. Letting the side bodies expand out, the front body expand up. And exhaling to let go, to release, to come back to the midline. Now let's take the hips over to the left side of the mat. Drop the knees to the right and roll all the way onto the right side of the body, so you're taking your left arm with you. So you're coming onto the right edge of the body and then taking the left arm and reaching it up as high as you can, and then reach that left arm away as the left arm reaches out to the left and the back of the left shoulder comes down towards the mat. Again, you can bring some extra weight into the back of that left shoulder by drawing the back of the arm back. Maybe playing around with your feet, with your knees to find the most comfortable variation of this twist. And then allowing yourself to become fully present in this moment by tapping into this breath, your breath, your energy. We'll take a few more breaths here. Now let's start to roll all the way back onto the right side of your body. So all the way onto the right edge, take your left arm with you. And we're gonna push up now to come up into a tabletop. So bring your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And then bring your knees nice and wide. Bring your big toes to touch and sit your bum back to your heels. And if child's pose isn't super comfortable for you, maybe you get a pillow or a blanket to put under your bum if that's more comfortable. If you're okay where you are, sitting the bum back, extending your arms forward, rest your forehead and then bend your elbows so your arms are nice and soft here. Now you'll notice that the breath is different here. So let the breath be different and notice how it feels different. Notice how you have this freedom to expand even more into the back body. Notice the side bodies, the front body. Visualizing the breath moving through the base of the throat. Now, if you're pretty comfortable in your child's pose here, you can stay in your child's pose, keeping your hips back to your heels. We're going to lift up just a little bit here so that we can take the left arm and thread it under the right, turn the left palm to face up, and then rest back down onto the left shoulder and the left side of the face. Now, if child's pose is no longer comfortable, if you're done in child's pose, you can do this twist from a tabletop instead. So you come to your hands and your knees, bringing your knees under your hips, and then thread the left arm under. So it's whatever you find more comfortable there. If you're okay in child's pose, feel free to hang in your child's pose. You're resting on the left side of the face, the back of the left arm and shoulder. Don't strain the neck here. Just let the head relax. You can relax the right arm as well. Focusing on the breath. Focusing on the moment. Participating in the now. And then let's come back up. So if you're in your child's pose, you're just going to thread your right arm under your left. If you're in your tabletop, same thing. Resting onto the back of the right shoulder, onto the right side of the face. The left arm can just soften and relax there. Take a few more breaths. And then let's come back up into a tabletop. So unthread that right arm. And if you're sitting back on your heels, lift your hips. If you're already in your tabletop, you can stay in your tabletop. So hands are going to come under your shoulders to start, just so that we all start in the same place, and knees are under the hips. Now we're going to walk the hands forward towards the front of the mat. Say you move them forward about 2 hand lengths, your hands. And then we're going to do cat-cow here with the hands forward of the shoulders. So as you inhale, dip the belly down and lift the bum and lift the chest. And then as you exhale, round, chin into the chest, navel draws up. And then again, inhale, dip the belly down, lift the bum, lift the chest. And exhale, round, hugging the navel up. And again, inhale, dip the belly down. And then exhale, round. And then come back into a neutral spine, into a flat back. And we're going to walk the hands back towards the knees. And we're going to sit down. We're going to sit down and extend the legs out in front. So legs are going to be nice and soft here. And if you do have pillows nearby or a towel or a blanket and you want to roll it and you want to put it under your knees, you can do that. We're going to take a really, really soft forward fold here. So let your knees be as soft as you like. What I'm going to get you to do though is to pull the flesh away from your sitting bones here, just so that we start with the sitting bones rooting down rather than in a kind of rounding in the pelvis. And then bring your hands onto your legs, wherever they land is fine. We're gonna let the upper body come forward over the legs, and you can round here. Your legs are relaxed. You can rest your hands on your legs, or you can take your hands by your side, by the sides of your legs. And we're just gonna allow the upper body to round forward, okay? Knees can be nice and soft. Again, you don't need super straight legs here. This should feel pleasant, and if it doesn't feel pleasant, you might want to grab a chair, and you could put a chair over your legs and then bring your hands onto the chair if your hamstrings are tighter, the backs of your knees. Otherwise, we're going to settle here, and we're just going to hang here and let the body settle into the shape as we focus on the breath. If you experience any pulling or discomfort in the back of the neck here, you can bring your elbows onto your thighs, and you can rest your head in your hands if you find that the head being suspended is uncomfortable in the back of the neck. And you can allow the upper body to weigh itself down as and when it chooses. So you don't need to force anything. You're not controlling or managing anything here. You're letting your body settle into a shape. And while that's happening, you are rooted to your breath, into the feeling of your breath, because it'll feel different here. Notice how it feels different here. A few more breaths. Remember, keep it nice and soft. We're not forcing anything. We're not going for any kind of deep stretching here. This should feel pleasant, and it should feel like you could stay here. then let's slowly start to walk the hands back to come back up to sit. We're going to take the legs and we're going to extend them out into a straddle. And again, a nice comfortable straddle as far as the legs can be soft here. And if you've got pillows already, I'd pop them under the knees here as well, so that this is a nice chilled out wide leg forward fold. And again, we're going to allow the upper body to round and come forward here. If you have that chair, if this is a huge stretch, you can be, again, chair here, and you can have your hands on the chair and you can rest on the chair. Otherwise, you can be here, you can be nice and high. If this is a comfortable place for you to be and it's comfortable for you to come a little lower, you can come a little lower. You can rest your head in your hand. Don't straighten the legs, let them be nice and soft. The legs don't have to be super wide. Again, you want this to feel pleasant and a place that you could stay. Don't worry about what it looks like. Just experience how it feels. How it feels to be breathing here, because it'll feel different here. So notice how things feel different here. Different in the breath. And again, the body can be as heavy as it likes at whatever speed it likes. So you might find that the upper body starts to feel a little bit heavier and you naturally drop down a little bit lower, and you might find that that doesn't happen. Don't force it. Participate in the moment. And when the mind wanders, which it will, use those wandering moments, those wandering thoughts as reminders to come back. To come back to where your power is. And then let's start to walk the hands back. Take it nice and slowly. Come back up to sit and use your hands to help your legs back together. And then let's cross the right ankle over the left, and we'll come to a cross-legged seat, Sukhasana. And again, we're going to take a nice soft fold here. So you can be up nice and high, bringing your hands out in front of you, letting the shoulders come forward to round. You might find that the rotation in your hips will allow you to come forward and come even lower, maybe to the forearms, or maybe walking the arms all the way away. So for some people that's really comfortable and you can do that. For some people that's not as comfortable. So see where is most comfortable for you. Let the head relax down, shoulders relax. We're not forcing anything and we're not going anywhere that we wouldn't be able to stay. And once again, we're going to let this pose, this asana, we're going to let it happen. We're going to let the body settle into it. By staying connected and present with the breath. Just take another few breaths. See if the body feels any heavier. And then slowly, we're going to sit back up if you've come forward. And let's extend the legs out. So just remember, we had the right leg in front. So if you didn't have the right leg, that's okay, but you'll do the other side next time. So let's bring the legs out in front and bring your hands back behind you. You can lean back into your hands a little bit there. And then let's just windshield wiper the feet side to side and let the legs roll side to side for a moment. And give the legs a little bit of a wiggle and the feet a little bit of a shake. And then let's come to the other side. So we'll sit back up and we'll cross left over right this time, unless you did that last time. And the second side can sometimes feel a little bit more awkward than the first, or awkward if the first side didn't feel awkward. So that's okay. Just make sure that you're comfortable. And then again, we're going to come forward. So you can bring your hands forward and maybe the shoulders come forward and maybe the head softly rests down. Or maybe your hands come a little bit more forward and your elbows come down. Or maybe again, it's really comfortable for you to walk it all the way out, and you can do that as well. Again, we're not forcing anything. We're not going anywhere. It feels uncomfortable or unpleasant. It should feel pleasant. Stretchy is okay, but pleasant stretchy. Not like you're working hard. We're not working hard tonight.
the breath feel now? Where do you feel the breath now? Are there places in your physical body where you feel like could benefit from this breath? Can you tap into the power of your mind, directing your breath to these spaces that need this space, that need this energy? Take a few more breaths here. And then let's walk the hands back, coming back up to sit if you've walked forward. And again, we'll extend the legs out. Bring your hands back behind you. And give the legs a little bit of a wiggle, a sway, a shake. Circle the feet around a few times in both directions. And then let's lie down. Come back onto your back. And we'll bend the knees. And bring your right knee up into your chest. And bring your hands around your right shin. And give the right leg a gentle hug in towards the body. And then keep your right knee in towards your chest and take your arms down by your sides. And start to extend your right leg up towards the sky. And it doesn't have to go super straight, just extend it up. And then let's bend, bringing the heel back down towards the bum. And then extend it up again. And then heel back down towards the bum. And you can take the leg as straight as you like. So if it feels good to straighten the leg, feel free. And let's do that again. And the next time, as you extend the leg, point the toes. And then bend again. And then as you extend up, flex the foot, kick the heel up, draw the toes back, and then bend again. And as you extend, point, and then bend again. And as you extend, flex, really kick the heel away. Give that right foot a shake, put the right leg down, right foot down with the knee bent. Gently hug the left knee in, hands around the left shin. And then extend the left leg up towards the ceiling, arms by your sides. And then bend, heel down towards the bum, and then extend up. Again, as straight as you like, or as bent as you like. And then again, extend up. And then the next time that you extend the leg up, point the toes, stretching across the top of the foot there. And then bend. And as you extend, flex the foot, kick the heel up, draw the toes back. And again, bend. And point as you extend. And bend. And flex. Kick that heel away. And then shake and put the foot back down. Let's take the feet as wide as your mat and then drop your knees in towards each other there. Bring your hands to rest on your body there. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Close your eyes. Take your shoulders down away from your ears there. So slide your shoulder blades down your back. With your hands on your belly and your fingers spread wide, take a deep breath in for the count of 4. So I'm going to count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold the breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and slowly breathe out through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold the breath out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. One last time. 1. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to exhale for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe in. Fill up. Open your mouth side out. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees knock out wide. Take your arms where they feel most comfortable, whether it's by your sides, resting on your body, maybe wider. Take your chin down, gently down towards your chest to create some more length in the back of the neck there. Now we'll spend a few moments here before we move into our Shavasana, into our relaxation. So if you are cold, even anywhere slightly near cold, grab a blanket. If you'd like a pillow under your head, grab a pillow for under your head. And then come back to your Supta Baddha Konasana for a few more moments. Let your body start to settle here. Exactly as you are in this moment. Now when you're ready, extend your legs and prepare for your Shavasana. If you wanted to grab that pillow, the blanket. Getting yourself as comfortable as possible. And close your eyes. If you need to adjust, adjust. Whatever
you need. Whatever you need to be comfortable, to feel at ease. Offer yourself that. And then take a slow, deep breath in through the nose. And then slowly breathe out through the mouth or the nose. And let your breath find a natural rhythm. You are safe. You are held. You are warm. And you are full, completely full of this energy that you have cultivated through this practice of presence. So now you can be.
listen to your breath as it gets deeper. And breathe in all of this light, this love, this positive energy. Breathe it all in because you've been cultivating it. You have emitted this frequency throughout this practice, so breathe it in. And then open your mouth, sigh, let it go. Start to bend your knees one at a time. And roll yourself over onto your side. And take your time as you come back up to your seat. And bring your hands to your heart and bow your head in gratitude. Namaste.